To be able to understand and speak a foreign language well, you need to know thousands and thousands of words. In fact, you need tens of thousands of words. And in this video, I'm going to show you the fastest way to learn them. If you don't learn a lot of words fast, it's going to take years and years until you're able to have decent conversations or understand interesting content. And you don't want that. You want to get there as soon as possible so that learning gets much more enjoyable, much easier as well. So, how should we do it? What I recommend you do is first get your language islands, but also you need a longer text, ideally that contains all the vocabulary that you need to be able to understand the language. So I've created these lists with, uh, this list with tens of thousands of sentences that contain 99.99% of the vocab you need in the language. Probably more than that because it's 30,000 individual words here, and also all the grammar. So just by learning those words, you learn all the grammar and vocab that you need. But if you don't have those, you could simply do this with a book or a couple of books. Although maybe depending on the topic, that book won't be as comprehensive. Like you want to have all the vocab that you need, maybe because it doesn't touch certain subjects. But anyway, you need a lot of text first. Then you go to a word frequency calculator and you paste the text there and you get a vocabulary list. All the vocab from most common words to least common words ordered, yeah, with a number next to them. A number that indicates how often that word shows up in the text. And then you paste it on a spreadsheet like this one. You come here and you order it alphabetically. So now you get a list of words in alphabetical order. You get a list of words that are next to other words that look very similar because that's how the alphabetical order works. So you get word families this way. So you can learn words next to the whole family, right? How do we do this now? There's this thing called mnemonic associations that I like to use to memorize vocabulary fast. And you can use it to learn, if you're a beginner, you can use it to learn 20, 30 words a day with it. If you have more experience and you've been doing it for years, you can learn 100 words easily a day or more. Way more if you've got several hours to do it. But this is the best part. If you do it combining it with this format, you don't have to memorize each word. You can use a mnemonic association to memorize. In fact, you don't need to memorize this one, for example, because it's a cognate, right? You automatically learn the cognates without having to memorize them. But for the ones that are not cognates, you can create an association for the first word, like this one. Let's say, yeah, customs, and this Chelna. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words from the same family. So you learn that one, create a mnemonic association, and so you visualize a customs office. Every time you go to an airport, uh, if you're not from the EU, you'll have to go to those inside Europe, or if you're a Brit, know this also. Um, so you visualize that, and then something that sounds like cello, um, like a cello, playing a cello there. And then with an N, I always visualize Noah, the guy with the boat and the animals. So he's playing cello. Is it pronounced cello? I never heard that in a conversation. It's an instrument. I'm really not into classical music, even if I used to live in Vienna, and yeah, I never really learned anything about that. Even if I had a girlfriend who played one of those instruments in an orchestra there, but yeah. Anyway, long story. That's a story for another time. Anyway, cello. Noah played a cello in a customs office. You visualize it, yeah, as stupid as possible, and now you've got all of this all the way here. Yeah, that's 9 words that you will remember. Just review it and yeah, well, I visualize and memorize the first one. I know the other ones. Of course, you should combine this with a lot of listening, right? A lot of listening to interesting content. Even if you don't understand much in the beginning, if you're doing this with thousands and thousands of words, we just did 9. Like in an hour, you can do 1,000 words. 1,000 words. It doesn't mean you'll remember all of them. Let's say you create, I don't know, 100 associations. That's been very slow. But let's say you create 100 associations in an hour. That's over 1,000, around 1,000 words. Yeah, that you get. And that's been very slow. You could do 200 or 300 associations in an hour. So yeah, 1,000 words an hour. You can learn with this. Again, inside the family, it doesn't mean that you remember all of them. But if you listen in a lot and you review in the list, you'll simply you'll remember them. Tomorrow, if you just quickly review it, then okay, yeah, I remember those words. And because you need to see each word in context several times to be able to remember it. And a lot of these words you never see them unless you do many thousands of hours of input in the language, or you happen to be in that situation, whatever they arrest you at the airport or something, and you have to learn it. But a lot of these words you'll never learn them that way because you need a ridiculous amount of input, uh, several hours a day for years, and you don't have the time for that. But this way, okay, you memorize the first one, and then all the other ones, just the endings that change. But the endings, you start learning that there are patterns that repeat themselves. So you know that the ik is okay. That's the guy, and this is the whatever the guy, but in plural, and this is uh, okay. Whatever is a place. Yeah. So you get the idea. You see the endings, and not the first time, but after doing this with several thousand of them, you'll recognize the endings. So you just keep doing this with the whole list, and then you listen to the language a lot. That's very important. Then you, instead of just listening to noise and then occasionally understanding something, you'll understand a lot of words from the very beginning if you've been doing this with thousands of words, and then you keep doing this with the whole list. Memorize more and review it. You review the previous ones. Quickly review. If you don't know one of them, you check and keep reviewing, and then you do a lot of listening and or reading. Reading would be good, although I much rather you do listening because how do you pronounce this? If you learn it by reading, you don't know. Or this. What's this weird L thing? Or this S with a thingy? Yeah, you don't know those things. If you, yeah, my pen fell. If you hear them in context, you listen to the language, you recognize them in context. Yeah, so you recognize them and you learn the pronunciation. Sure. So you need a lot of listening. So memorize lots of vocab and like this. So the first one of the family you memorize it with mnemonic associations. The rest of them you just quickly review them, and then you do it with 1,000, 2,000 words a day, and then you review the previous ones, and you do a lot of listening. And this is how you can memorize 20,000, 30,000, even more words a month, as long as you review them, right? Don't tell me that, oh, it doesn't work because I did it once with 1,000 of them and then I stopped and then I tried again 3 months later and it doesn't work. No, no, no. Every day, several thousand, and you review the previous ones and you listen to the language, right? This is how you learn vocab fast.